Hi, I am Saravanan. I do spiritual past life regression. So before talking about what is past life regression, I would like to talk about a real experience a patient had. A patient was admitted in a hospital for a bypass surgery. She had a near-death experience. And since I was working closely with doctors at that time, I happened to visit the patient with the doctor because I was selling heart valves and all that stuff. So the moment the doctor entered her suite in the hospital, the patient told, "Doctor, I was about to die yesterday." The doctor told, "Yes, you rarely escaped." Then she started saying many things about that near-death experience. She said in just less than 3 minutes, she recollected all the memories. That is, she was around 60-65 years old, and all the memories from the current age, which is 60-65, compressed, went back till the time where she was just an infant, and boom, it again opened up and she came back to life. The doctor just signed off and said, "Yeah, it's all okay," and he left it. But I actually was surprised because that was the time I was reading a book called The Tibetan Book of the Dead, where in a sequential manner they explain what happens to life and what happens to the experience of what I call as me or I after death. Because basically we are energy forms. Our body is a condensed energy form into a physical mass. Now the body dies. The body dies. How does the body die? The life force leaves the body. In yoga or Indian psychology, we say prana. Prana, or the life force, enters the body and then innervates the body, energizes the whole system, and that is the basis of life. Prana is there inside the body and it creates the mind, it creates the body. If you look at how India looks at body, if you look at how yoga looks at the whole body, we call it the Anandamaya Kosha, which is pure bliss. Around that, the Vijnanamaya Kosha, the universal intelligence. Then we talk about Manomaya Kosha, then the Pranamaya Kosha, and then the Annamaya Kosha. Annamaya Kosha is a physical body. You have the Pranamaya Kosha in between the physical body and the mental body. And the mental body is the body that is around the Vijnanamaya Kosha, which is universal intelligence. Now, the moment prana departs, the body dies. The life has left. The question is, what happens to the mind? Most people think that death is a great liberator, especially people who are deceased. They say, "I'm waiting for death to happen," but death is not happening. They say, "I don't know when he's going to call me," isn't it? Which basically means leaving the body is not under anyone's control. When the prana leaves, the body stays. What happens to this memory, the experience that I call as I, that is stored in the Manomaya Kosha. Manomaya is I would say, the condensed form of all the thoughts, all the emotions that we have. And if you go back to the experience of this lady, 65 years, whole thing compresses down to that infantile state. There is a core emotion, a core thought. And with that thought, the mind departs the body, or the mind is ejected out of the body. Sri Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that the last thought that you have, or the last emotion that you have when you leave the body, determines your next life. Which means that last emotion is a condensed form of all the emotions that you carry at the time of death. Everything condenses, becomes. So if life has been dominated with positive emotions, positive thoughts, death becomes more pleasant. I'm saying more, I'm not saying fully. If it is fully positive, fully pleasant, and there's no tinge of any negativity, it's a different story where you call it moksha, which means the vibrations are absolutely different. Then maybe the rebirth can become very conscious. Otherwise, normally, when life is filled with hardship, pain, negative thoughts, emotions, all these condense, and the quality of your thoughts, the quality of emotion that happens at the time of death determines the state of mind that departs the body. And you know that the mind cannot stay without a body. The body is the vessel for the mind. Immediately, the mind needs one more body. Otherwise, it's like water vapor, just moving all around, nothing to contain it, isn't it? If you have water vapor, if it's inside a room, it is contained in the room. If there is no room, vapor moves all around. Same thing happens to the mind. But the problem with the mind is, it also has an experience of I, which means you, the experience of life is in the mind. For me, the experience of life is in the mind. So, Tibetan Book of the Dead says, it is like you will be torn into pieces. Each emotion pulling in every direction. They go into more details and say you have this color light, you need to navigate to this light and all that. But to be conscious enough to navigate to that life, lot of work should have been done during lifetime. And if that does not happen, this core emotion, the form the mind takes after death, the vibration in which the mind is, the state of mind will again get matched with the state of mind of a mother and a father and a family situation, a family field, and this mind gets attracted to that womb because it matches. Because people who think that had my parents been different, I would have been different, should know that in a way, consciously, you have determined your parents even before you were born, because the state of mind in which you were matched with the state of mind of the mother, and it gets sucked. You got sucked into the womb. When the energy gets sucked into the womb, it's from a free-flowing open space inside a container. The container of the womb, the body. There is trauma, because from freedom there is constriction. At that point of time, a past memory will open up. That will be the basis on which the whole life gets formed, because that past memory can be a set of decisions, maybe a set of emotional patterns. That is the first time where actually past life memory can open up. Then the 9 months inside the womb, the mother undergoes a lot of experiences, lot of emotions, lot of thoughts. The situations around the mother, everything influence the formation of the fetus, the formation of the mind, the formation of the spinal cord and the whole body. And in fact, the basic material of the body is taken from the mother. When the mother has a certain set of emotions, even those emotions are interjected. Certain set of thoughts, they also form vibrations and they get interjected into the body of the developing fetus. And this is one reason in yoga they say that even before you are born, the quality of happiness, the quality of education, the type of diseases you will get, everything gets determined. Not because that it is someone sits there and determines, but the quality of the state of the mind, the state of the body of the mother, the quality of your mind, both come together, fuse and form a new pattern. And all these happen unconsciously because the previous death has been unconscious. Then, during the process of birth, next trauma, because from somewhere inside, which was very constrictive, at the same time safe, you get thrown out into a place where you have people 10 times larger than you. You are less than a feet, and then you look up, you have people who are very tall, larger, moving around, somebody touching you, somebody holding you. That leads to more trauma and more survival patterns open up from the past life. Yes. In spite of all this, as a baby, lot of energy is there inside the system. That is why babies are very happy. Unless people around make them realize that they are not supposed to be happy, they are supposed to be mature, they are supposed to think about life and all that, which happens during the period of growth and teenage and whatever. But that first 6 months after birth is very important, because during that period, the mind gets formed, the new neural patterns get formed again as a basis of the past. I have come with a program. This program gets, I would say, reprogrammed or gets, I would say, fused with the program of the father, program of the mother, program of school, teacher, everything, and the whole thing gets formed. That's why they say first 7 years of the life determines the rest of your life. In fact, in yoga and psychology, they say the first 6 months, nearly 97% of neurons are formed, neural connections are formed. And that is one reason people say, and today research also says, that children can never be happier than their parents. The reason is, if you need to be happy, you need to be warm, correct? If you're happy, you need to be warm. If you're unhappy, you become cold, the body gets dense. To be warm, you need more neural connections, because neurons carry electricity, warmth, fire. Now, the number of neural connections that are formed or determined by the quality of life in the first 6 months, the way in which your parents touched you, held you, spoke to you, played with you, whatever, how they fed you, everything, the environment around, everything is interjected without any discrimination. Unconditionally, everything is taken as it is, and they form the basis. It's like you are a piece of clay, and every moment there is a lot of shaping happening. and once a shape has been formed, imagine you have a square pot and you pour water into it and you want the water to take the shape of a circle. Will it happen? It will not happen because the water fills the shape. Now, if you need to change your life, if you need to transform, no point in fighting with the water. That's what we do now. We keep blaming everybody around and say, this is a problem. But when you come to past life regression, especially spiritual past life regression, you should understand that I come here to change the shape of the pot itself. That is what spiritual past life regression is about. Because unless that shape, which contains all the program, is changed, life may not change. And the fact that most people are successful, yes, sir, as compared to what one was a child, as compared to your childhood, when one grows, teenage, adulthood, and then you work, you are much better off than your parents, by and large much better off. More educated, more financially well, good, and more happy, and more comforts, more luxury. In spite of that, there is pain. There is no contentment. People experience, they have multiple relationships, but still they say, I am lonely. Married ones, still lonely. Children, still lonely. They don't listen to me, I don't listen to them. All confusion. So, money is there, but still I am unhappy. I wanted money, I have the career growth, I have business growth, but still it is not giving me that satisfaction. I still want to grow and I end up, and finally I come to a point that I have done enough, I really do not know what to do. It actually starts with relationships because career being by and large set, security has been taken care of, but now relationships, loneliness, feeling sad, rejected, dejected. That's one primary reason people come for past life regression. And second, one more core reason why people come is to become more successful. Because by the time you're 35, you have your own success traits, you have your own program which has helped you succeed. Now you need to move to higher levels of success. So certain programs have to be changed, certain belief systems have to be changed. Can I consciously change it? That's one thing. Now the question is, why should I do that? Life, as I told you, is a continuous process. There's nothing called settled life, which means I eat now, after 4 hours, I need again food, or 6 hours. I cannot say, I ate in the morning, so I'll be happy with that now. It's not possible. You need it again, which means it's an ever-growing process, ever-growing phenomena. There is an ever-growing phenomena when all that I've tried so far has helped me in a certain way, but not helping me get that, I would say, contentment, satisfaction, a sense of accomplishment, a sense of happiness in my life. It means something somewhere is pulling me. I'm still deciding, thinking in the same way. There, past life regression will really help you because you can actually reprogram. There are a lot of programs which run life. There are a lot of programs which you carry from the past which will influence your life now. In the next video, I'll share with you what are the most common programs, what are the most common, I would say, emotional patterns people carry from past life into the current life, which, if we resolve, can transform life. Thank you.